Good morning, afternoon, and or good evening. Welcome to the channel. We're going to do something a little different today, but if you haven't been here before, my name is Dan Weiss, and we're just going to figure things out. You already know what we need to do, so let's jump right into it. Here's what we're working with. Got into a little bit of a fender bender, and honestly, it looks terrible. So, we're going to see if we can source a new bumper, maybe a new headlight depending on the price, and any little bits and pieces extra just to put this back to being whole again. But there's a couple ways to do that. If you ever find yourself in a bit of a jam where you have damage like that, where it's kind of minor and not really worth bringing to a repair shop, there's a couple things you can do. One, you can always go to a body shop, have them do all the work, but that can get a little bit expensive. And if you're just trying to save a couple bucks and you don't really care if it's perfect, maybe the car is a little older and you just want something to bring it back up to par to where no one's going to be looking at you while you're driving down the highway. Here's what I would suggest. There's a couple places you can find used parts. I've bought parts off of eBay. I've gone on Craigslist. The two places I tend to fall into most are a local junkyard, where I can pick up parts used at a really good price, or I can go on OfferUp. Now, OfferUp's a good way to find some used parts for pretty cheap. You haggle your way down to a pretty fair price, and you can be on your way. I couldn't find the parts I was looking for on OfferUp today, so we are going to the junkyard. So, something about this junkyard is it's a pick your part, and if you haven't done that before, you bring your own tools, you pay a couple dollars entry fee, and you go to where they have, the spare parts for cars or whatever, and you pull the part off the car yourself. Depending on how efficient you are doing this, it could take, a couple minutes to a couple hours, depending on what you're grabbing. Now, before we go, I'm going to grab the tools I need. So we're going to check out the bumper real quick and see what kind of clips are required. Now, if you have the time, I do suggest... Okay. Now, one thing we want to make sure is we want to have all the right tools to get the parts we need. So if you have the car available, let's go over to the car, pop the hood or wherever you need the part, and see what kind of hardware is holding on the part that we need to pull off. That way, I'm not making an hour trip back and forth, and I can save some time and make this a really quick and efficient run. So let's pop the hood. As of right now, we had a bunch of pins in here. It looks like they popped off from our little fender bender. Now we have the headlights. We can either use a socket or a Phillips head and more sockets to remove the headlights. Chances are we're going to have to pull the headlight off in order to gain access to the bumper. So up top, pretty straightforward. There shouldn't be much else holding it on, except maybe a couple pins underneath. And then on the side here, let's see if we can pop this off. So in this case, this is sort of pressure fitted, like clips in on the side. A lot of cars are like this. Doesn't look... Okay, here we are. So there's a retaining clip right here. Looks like there's a screw that goes up top. That may get in the way, so you may have to be able to pull off the wheel. Now, if we look underneath the car, we can see some more pins and clips. These just require a Phillips head. You unscrew it, and you can remove the plastic tray, and that should be about all. Now, we do have fog lights, so if this bumper that we're going to go find has fog light, we're going to purchase that with it. But otherwise, we're going to try and keep some of this parts off to keep costs down because they charge per the part. After looking under the car, looks like we just need a couple Phillips heads, some sockets, maybe some other bits and pieces. So I'm going to actually grab just those and a pair of snips, because you never know if you want to cut something. Junkyard, they don't really tend to check, so you can just sort of snip things away as needed. That way you get it out faster, spend less time. But I think that's all we need, so I'm going to grab those things. Okay, we got our tools. Now that we have everything we need, let's get over there. Okay, F G H. Oh no. H1. Well, I was gonna grab a rear bumper, so that made it easy. Okay. Let's see what else they got. It's pretty picked over. Steering wheel looks pretty decent. The whole front clip's gone though. Okay. Well, it's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. This bumper's pretty thrashed. It's not even worth it. Well, let's see if we can get that steering wheel though. The Hyundai one's pretty beaten up, but I think we'll manage. Well, that was easy. Might have to hop in real quick. When you're pulling a steering wheel, keep the nut on so you don't slam it in your face. There we go. Got it. Oops. So, we got a nice looking leather steering wheel. Not really what we came here looking for, but we'll take it. But that's kind of how these places are. It's either hit or miss, and usually people come here pretty quickly right after they're posted, so we're gonna have to look elsewhere for the front bumper. But hey, got a good looking steering wheel, so that's a good plus. So one interesting tip about these places are that they may do deals, at least out in California, where if it rains you get like 25% off, so people will take the part and hide it elsewhere in the lot. Sometimes it's worth just taking a quick look around, seeing if there's the piece you're looking for stuffed into another vehicle. That way you snag it while someone else is just trying to cheat the system. But I don't know if we'll find anything, but we're just going to take a look around real quick. I don't think we're going to find anything, so let's get out of here. Alright, so we didn't find what we were looking for, but we did find something else. Got a steering wheel that's newer than what we've got here. It'll look a lot nicer, feel nicer. I'm realizing it's not actually, the one we got is not actually leather, but compared to this one, but hey, it'll change the appearance and feel of the whole car, which is fine, and we only spent $20. So, not too bad if you can find the part you're looking for. Otherwise, you gotta spend the money. So, until next time, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.